You already know this on some level, but let's lay it out clear. Humans need discomfort. Here's the deal. Humans need discomfort, period. It's like the human brain is built to need something to push against. It's like trying to push a car uphill. When your mind doesn't have something to push against, your mind starts looking for something to create discomfort, because that's how it grows. Now what happens when you don't give yourself a challenge? You either choose the stress of real problems, or you manufacture your own. Let's be clear. If you don't choose growth and struggle, your brain will make your life harder. That's just how it works. It's going to push you to stress yourself with some bullshit if you're not intentional about it. If you don't challenge yourself at work, you'll stress out over little shit. Maybe you don't like your job, but you're not doing anything about it. So what happens? You stress about the job. You complain about it. You get stuck in this miserable little loop of self-inflicted misery. Why? Because you didn't create enough discomfort with a bigger goal or challenge. If you don't get challenged in relationships, you either settle or create drama. You're in a relationship, but you're not putting in the effort to grow together. Guess what? Your brain, it'll find a way to create drama. Maybe you'll fight about something petty. Or maybe you'll start doubting your partner. Your mind needs discomfort. If you don't create it with purpose, it'll create it out of nowhere. But here's the kicker. When your brain doesn't get a real, meaningful challenge, it looks for instant gratification. You know this. It's your damn phone. It's every social media notification. It's that hit of dopamine that you get from a snack, a Netflix binge, or that quick like on your Instagram post. Chasing pleasure versus fulfillment, the biggest trap. Here's where Viktor Frankl drops the hammer. When man can't find a deep sense of meaning, he distracts himself with pleasure. That's right. When you can't find purpose or meaning in your life, your brain switches to the fastest, easiest, most addictive form of satisfaction, instant gratification. You dive into distractions, sugar, scrolling, shopping, drugs, sex, Netflix binges, or anything that gives you that quick fix. And man, it's everywhere. Like an addict looking for the next hit. Let's talk about the consequence of that. You're too busy chasing the dopamine high. You hit a milestone, you celebrate, you scroll some more. You tell yourself just a few more minutes, but deep down, you know, it's not adding up to anything that really matters. You avoid the discomfort of long-term planning, of facing the bigger picture, and guess what? A few months down the line, you realize, instead of feeling fulfilled, you're feeling more anxious, more empty, more neurotic. Immediate pleasure versus delayed gratification. You take the easy route. Have the extra donut, skip the gym, or procrastinate on the project that could actually help you level up. It feels good in the moment, right? But a month later, you're staring at yourself in the mirror, feeling like shit, wondering where the hell your life is going. You've just traded growth for temporary relief. That's the problem. You're choosing pleasure over fulfillment. Instant gratification, it numbs the pain of discomfort. But it doesn't do anything to fix the root cause. Over time your brain adapts, and it takes more and more of that quick hit to get the same feeling. What you get is anxiety, depression, and a sense of being stuck. So why is this so important? You've probably felt it. You've been stuck. You've had moments where you wanted to level up, but the pull of comfort and pleasure keeps dragging you back. You know what's at stake here? Choosing fulfillment over pleasure. It isn't just nice to have, it's a game changer. This is about building a life that's truly yours. That's the difference between living a life based on external satisfaction versus a life built on internal fulfillment. It's about delayed gratification, about working for things that really matter, like growth, purpose, contribution, relationships and health. And here's why it's important. When you start choosing growth over comfort, you change your biology. You start triggering positive neurochemicals, ones that are tied to dopamine, but with a slower, more sustainable release. It's a healthier, longer-lasting satisfaction, and it sets off a chain reaction. Your focus improves, your self-esteem boosts, and you start feeling more alive. You shift from that quick-fix dopamine cycle to a long-term sustainable growth. So why is it so hard? Why does it feel so damn hard? Why does it feel like the world is always pushing us towards instant pleasure? That's because the system is rigged. We're bombarded with distractions and quick fixes. Social media, fast food, entertainment, they all suck us in. Your brain is trained to get hits of pleasure, and those that are reinforced by your environment. But here's the thing. You can break free from it. You've already started. The first step is understanding. The cost of not doing this is steep. Anxiety, depression, stress, and ultimately a life that feels empty. You might be afraid of the discomfort that comes with stepping up. You might worry about what people will think, or that you'll fail. But here's the truth. Not doing this is more painful. Not doing this is a slow burn. It's that gnawing feeling that something isn't right. That you're meant for more, but you're too scared to step into it. So you stay stuck in the cycle of pleasure and instant fixes. So how do you break the cycle? Let's snap out of it. Let's take this step by step. Acknowledge your current patterns. Right now, notice when you choose instant gratification. Just observe it. See the moment where you go for your phone, or reach for that sugar, or skip the gym. Interrupt it. Instead of giving in, pause, interrupt the pattern. Just stop for a second and ask yourself, is this what I really want? Does this give me long-term satisfaction? Or does it just fill the void for now? Choose the harder path. Take a step toward discomfort. Maybe it's working on a challenging project at work, or picking up that book instead of mindlessly scrolling. Maybe it's having a hard conversation with someone you care about. Here's the secret. Once you get used to delayed gratification, it gets easier and easier. Each time you push through that discomfort, your brain builds new neural pathways to make it easier to do again and again. Find purpose and meaning. Go after something bigger than yourself, a goal, a mission, a calling. When you're aligned with your purpose, the discomfort doesn't feel as painful because you know it's worth it. The cost of not doing this. Look at your life right now. Think about where you're at. Think about how you felt when you've been stuck in those patterns. It's not just about feeling bad about your choices. It's about the repercussions. When you don't challenge yourself, you stay small. You stay stuck in the cycle of short-term pleasure. And your soul starts to feel empty. So get off your ass. Stop running from discomfort and start choosing your long-term growth. Because in the end, that's the only thing that will ever truly bring you satisfaction. Now step into that discomfort. Take the harder path and watch how your life starts changing. The more you do it, the more it feels natural. That's the new you, and trust me, it'll be worth the fight.